Britain's rental market is at breaking point.
I have 2 children. I'm living in what is like a crack den.
She's just chatting, straight up.
With not enough homes to go round,
no one should be allowed to live like this. This is unacceptable.
This is our home. This ain't his land.
soaring rents.
I'm going to have to mortgage my pension to pay this debt off.
Put a hell of a strain on me. It's enough to kill a person.
Oh my God.
Squalid conditions.
I'm gonna have to climb over the settee with my shoes on.
This could be criminal negligence.
Spiralling property scams.
I'll see you in court.
You guys ain't meant to be here, so we have a problem.
From bedsits to mansions.
Hello, enforcement agent.
From squats to drug farms.
They have been growing cannabis.
This is Nightmare Tenants.
Get your hands off me, pal. No, do not put your hands on me, all right? I will not stand for that.
Slum Landlords. With London bursting at the seams, increasingly, those with nowhere to live have been squatting in empty commercial premises. For landlords, getting them out can be challenging.
This is quite an urgent matter. We don't know how many are there, but nevertheless, we have to do this.
Lawyer Chris Sharp is on his way to a warehouse to serve court papers on squatters who've been occupying the building.
My client became aware that there was some squatters about 1 or 2 weeks ago. He's desperate to get them out because they need to re-let the building.
The landlord wants to rent out the warehouse, but first, he needs to evict the squatters.
One of the main anxieties that clients have regarding squatters is that they have no idea how they're going to be able to ever get these people out, because it's not a criminal offence. The breaking into it is a criminal offence, but if that's not witnessed by anyone, then all the squatters will say is, we didn't break in. We came in through an open door. This is the first potential interaction I will have with these squatters. So you never know quite what the reaction's going to be. Attach documents to the property before you try and get their attention. If it kicks off, you don't want to be hanging around. I never get complacent. Every job is as though it's the first job. You've got to be prepared for anything. There's somebody there now, yeah. Just saw somebody up there, but I think they're a bit shy this morning. They're definitely in. I think they're in their dressing gowns. Hello, we've got some papers for you. Well, do you want to come out and get them? Well, I can give you them personally. How many of you are in there, mate? 10 of you? And what's your name? James. Do you want to open the door, James? What are your plans, James? Just living? So you got no intentions of moving out? So when did you break in, James? You got invited in, did you? By whom? It wasn't by the owner, though, was it? I don't think it's coming to the door. They just need it out because it's costing them thousands to have this empty and for it to be squatted. The electric in here is being used, the water's being used, all those utilities are getting used. But look, we are where we are. We've got to get a court order. Well, we know that. That's why we're here with court papers. Did I really think they'd come to the door and have a chat? No. But you've got to try.
It's a week later, and the day of the court hearing. Chris is hoping the judge will grant an interim possession order, or IPO.
But if we get the IPO, then it will make it a criminal offence for anyone to be on the property without permission within 24 hours.
2 of the squatters have turned up to fight the case.
We need to save enough until we start renting. That's the point. That's the point.
We need like a few weeks and we move.
The problem is, from our client's perspective, is they need that property right now to move on themselves. Absolutely, yeah.
To run the place.
They need it, absolutely.
All right.
And I know you're in there, but it doesn't change the fact that there's no permission being granted.
It takes just 20 minutes for the judge to make a decision.
So we've got the interim possession order here. This is what it's all about. Now, these guys readily admitted that they shouldn't be there, they were squatting, but they were saying that they need to get to the next step and they need to save some money up. Don't get me wrong, I'm a human being, I understand that, I really do. But we still have a job to do and they still shouldn't be there, and there are about 18 or 20 of them just having a free run of the place, which has got to stop, I'm afraid.
If the squatters haven't left within 24 hours, Chris will instruct High Court enforcement officers to forcibly remove them. Not every landlord is in the property business by choice. Some so-called accidental landlords are forced by circumstances to rent out their home. And when things go wrong, often they're not prepared for it.
My world went upside down. I can't sleep at night. It makes me feel ill. I want to see an end to this.
20 years ago, engineering lecturer Sam bought a 3-bedroom semi for his mother to live in.
This house of mine is very, very special to me. When my dad passed away, he said to me, son, look after your mum. My mum is the most incredible person in the world. I would die for my mum. Unfortunately, she got ill and then she had to come back and stay with us. And then unfortunately, I had to rent the place.
He converted it into a house of multiple occupation, or HMO, renting rooms out individually. But 18 months ago, one of his tenants stopped paying the rent, leaving Sam nearly £11,000 out of pocket.
I need my house back. I need my life back. But hopefully it will come to the end now.
Sam has brought in eviction expert Paul Champliner from Landlord Action to help him.
This woman that moved in, after moving in, she refused to sign a tenancy agreement, and he has had an absolute nightmare. I mean, the 18 months rent arrears outstanding, incredible.
Paul and Sam are serving the tenant with an eviction notice, giving her 2 weeks to leave or be taken to court.
Sam, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you. You don't know what this means to me. Really? I think I'm going to finally get some closure.
Well, no, it's not going to be closure.
No,
it's the start of the closure.
Yeah.
So let's go and serve the notice.
Absolutely.
Right, I want to go and speak to her. Come
Lovely.
on. Right. So when you open the door, I want you to hold back. So keep the noise down, yeah?
Paul wants to hand the notice in person, so needs to gain access. By law, both he and the landlord can go into communal areas, but they can't enter the tenant's room.
Sorry to make you wake you up. I'm here for the unpaid rent that you owe. What's that? Do you want to come to the door so I can give you this document and explain what it's all about? It's a Section 8 notice of rent arrears. Hi, you all right? How's it going?
It's not right.
Pardon? What's that?
It's just not.
It's 18 months owing. If it's not paid, we've got to issue court proceedings. Do you want to talk about it? Okay, well the notice has been served now, and our details are on there if you want to speak to us, yeah? About the outstanding rent.
It's 18 months of hell, you know, in paying the mortgage for this property, my own home. I'm looking after an old mum, okay, I'm looking after a family, I'm going to work, I'm doing all these things. I'm absolutely exhausted from the experience.
Right, don't get emotional. I know this has been a long time coming.
I've had, it's just very hard, yeah.
This is what you've been waiting for. Let's just get them out, and then we can focus on going forward.
Absolutely.
All right. Good
really
stuff.
appreciate
Hopefully you can sleep better tonight.
God bless you. I will sleep better.
No,
I haven't
good.
slept properly for 18 months. What's my hands?
Next, in Hackney.
No wonder they didn't want us in here. Look at all the gear. You don't get a set up like this in Ibiza.
In Wigan.
So it's too late. Oh, I just want to cry.
You have £11,000 rent arrears.
And in North London.
You will be pursued for that to the end of the earth.
It's 2 weeks since Sam served notice on his tenant, who owes him £11,000 in unpaid rent. And today he's heading there to find out if she's moved out.
I certainly hope she's gone. I hope she's not in. I hope we can go down there and my dream comes true and she's gone. I need closure.
There's a lot riding in this. He doesn't know whether she's staying or whether she's going. And if she's staying, he's in for another 4 or 5 months. Lost rent, legal fees, and more stress.
It's a lot of money to me. My family have been deprived. My wife's been deprived. My children, myself, and my mother. Put a hell of a strain on me. Great strain. The landlord. Can you open the door? No. You was given a two week notice to leave and settle the rent. So what have you done about it?
We're going.
You're leaving?
Yeah.
When are you leaving?
This afternoon.
What have you done about settling the £11,000 rent you owe me?
Go away.
Go away? This is my home, my house, yeah? You're taking advantage of every single situation that you possibly could do. I've been nothing but good to you. You ain't signed anything, you haven't done nothing. You can't go to a shop and pick up a packet of crisps and not pay for it. You get arrested, you get criminal record. So how can they fleece me out of £11,000? I spent so much money on this beautiful house, over £35,000. And look at this, look at the state of it. Get yourself sorted out. You have £11,000 rent arrears and you will be pursued for that, okay, to the end of the earth. You can't go around doing this to people. It's enough to kill a person, you know. It really is, it's enough to kill a person.
If the tenant still refuses to leave, Sam will have little choice but to take her to court, with the added cost, time, and yet more stress. The private rental sector has more than doubled in the last 10 years. And that rise has gone hand in hand with an increasing number of landlords having to resort to evicting problem tenants.
So is it boarded up, or was it going to be boarded up?
They were going getting a new panel.
Right. There must be something there, otherwise it's going to be very cold.
Yeah.
Letting agents Karen O'Connor and Gemma Painter from Lobster Lettings have concerns about a spate of vandalism and antisocial behaviour at one of the 450 properties they manage.
We got a phone call from the landlord to say that he'd been given a heads up by friends who are in the police that reports had been made that there was drug dealing happening in the property and lots of visitors to the property that you don't want.
You're always apprehensive when you go into a property when there's been issues because you never know what you're going to be walking into.
Blinds are closed, door's still not repaired. She knows what's coming though, doesn't she? So
yeah.
She will probably not answer anyway.
The tenant claims the front door was smashed when the police raided her flat. As a potential security risk, the agents need it fixed. But getting her to do it is proving to be tricky, especially as they've heard a rumour she may be doing a runner.
Okay, well hopefully she's there.
We had a tip off from somebody that our tenant was planning to slowly taking items out of the property and moving them into a new property with the intention of just eventually absconding.
If they don't find her, the landlord will be left with £500 arrears and will have to foot the bill for the smashed door.
I think it's really important that she realises that she can't run and hide from her responsibilities. She owes a month's rent, doesn't she?
Yeah.
With 5 months left on her tenancy, they need to track her down before the arrears escalate.
As an agent, you want to make sure that you know where that tenant's going. So if we need to follow up on rent arrears and money's owed, we've got more chance of being able to pursue that tenant.
They received a tip-off about an address she might be moving to.
No, Gemma's relentless when it comes to finding information, aren't you?
Yes.
You'll track anyone down.
I think in my previous life I could have made a very good detective.
Yeah, just give her a full name and that's it. By the end of the day, you'll have their address, their national insurance number.
The knicker size.
Yeah, everything.
It's her.
Is it her?
Her settee and her things are in there.
Crap. So it's too late, she's already got possession. Oh, I just want to cry. It's unfair. They think that landlords are multi-millionaires and so what, we'll just not pay the rent, they can afford it. Well, it's not fair.
They urgently need to find the tenant, persuade her to repay the missing rent and fix the door. It's dawn in East London, and armed with a High Court writ, lawyer Chris Sharp has the paperwork he needs to evict the squatters from his client's warehouse.
We're going to go meet the High Court sheriffs to hopefully get the property back. There's no perfect time to have an eviction. We'd rather not have to do them. But if you're going to do it, then the element of surprise is always the way forward. You never know what's going to happen. Again, it's the old adage, isn't it? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. How you doing? Good, thank you.
Meeting him at the warehouse are the High Court enforcement officers and a locksmith.
Just around the corner, you'll know. Yeah.
Eviction days like this are always rather anxious times. You're always on your toes, you're always wondering what's going to happen. And deep down, you're wondering, are you going to succeed?
He's got his lock picker. Yeah. Oh my word. You have to crowbar the place open.
What's my hands then? Right, my back's in right now. Right. My back is in up. So if you put that through my back, you're in trouble, sir. This is going to county court.
We've got the High Court writ, so that's all we need.
Okay. There's my ID. That's all we need. Okay.
You're breaking the law by obstructing a High Court officer here, lads.
That's the only reason you can come in is only that the police is here, right?
Go on then, 999 the number.
Oh, my back's in, mate! Oh!
These guys are doing all they can to resist this, and they're saying they'll call the police. Well, if they call the police, that's fine. High Court writs are in place.
Let's start packing, please. I ain't arguing with you anymore, nothing more to talk about.
But the beauty of it was, whilst we were there trying to get into that door, grabbing their attention, we'd gone to the other door as well and broken into that one really easily. By causing all the commotion at one door, we'd basically sneak around the back.
Right, we're in. Just got to be careful.
Enforcement agent.
Can you start packing for me, please?
Where are the High Court papers?
Here you go.
Guys, it's got to end today, unfortunately.
All right.
Well,
fair enough.
You know that, guys. You know how it works.
Okay.
You know, we don't want any trouble. That's the last thing we want.
But I hope you know how it works to move. We need a van.
You know how it works. You know the score.
Yes, but one way or another, we're leaving, yeah? So,
Yeah,
can you
okay.
give us some time until we're ready with the stuff?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Indeed.
We're not going to fight.
Of course not. Neither are we.
I hope you understand that.
Yeah, that's the last thing we want.
We're not occupiers, so some people came just to destroy the place and leave. No, we made it livable. We've cleaned the place, we've painted the place, we started with decoration, interior. Yeah. Sports, badminton. We have pools, we have tennis stuff.
To be fair to the guys, they've not wrecked it, but it's just, it's D-Day. Our client needs the property back.
The police arrive. They've been called by the squatters in a last-ditch attempt to delay the eviction. But the High Court writ ensures they will be leaving.
As long as they've provided you a copy of it and you understand what's on that paper, pretty much it really. Pass the message on to the rest of people that are here, and then just collect your belongings.
Come have a look what is done.
All right.
Nobody's questioning how you've looked after the place. It's just that our client needs his property back to give to someone else now, okay? You being here cost them a fortune, okay? It just needs to come to an end now.
A fortune?
Yes. Air conditioning that you're using, the electricity, the water, the heating, because it's not cold in here, is it? It's got to end today. Thanks, guys. Thanks, officers. No wonder they didn't want us in here, and no wonder they needed a van. I think they're going to need half a dozen vans. Look at all the gear. They've got internet, they've got TVs, they've got pool tables, and boy, have they got heating. It is hot in here. This is the warehouse, and this is warm. Go upstairs, you're taking your top off. So most of your places you go to, are you big enough to play badminton? Plenty of ceiling height.
It's not very comfortable.
That's what I look for in a house. Has it got enough ceiling height for my badminton rackets? Well, look at this place. We've got a professional setup here. I mean, you don't get a setup like this in Ibiza. It's perfect for a rave. Look at it. They've even set up their own little minibar. This is it now. It's the last stand. But to be fair, they're not standing anymore. They're just getting their stuff and they're going. We'll have it secured up.
There you go.
Our guy will have the property back, and it's job done. And we move on. Our client can move on. These guys will move on. It's what they do. And we'll probably see them down the road in the not too distant future.
The number of people renting has nearly tripled over the past 20 years. So now, a third of all adults rent rather than own their own homes. It makes life extremely busy for letting agents such as Paul Ainsworth Lord.
He's been stringing us along, for want of a word, and the arrears are a bit out of hand.
Today he's visiting tenants in a two-bedroomed house who owe £3,000 in rent to serve them with eviction papers. For Paul, this case is personal, as he owns the property himself.
It turns out, when we get the full story, he split up from his missus. They'd had rent arrears in the past, but they'd always straighten them up. And he started going on about little bits of jobs and that. I said, well, I'll come round and have a look. I said, I'm thinking to myself, I can do an inspection while I'm at it. I'm pretty sure they're in, because I saw the curtains move upstairs.
As Paul has given 24 hours notice of his inspection, he can legally enter.
Hello?
Get out!
That's his missus. I'm thinking, what's she still doing here? Well, they'd split up. Oh, wasn't expecting that. That's a bit of a surprise. Can you open the door? I need to talk to you. I'm Paul from Ainsworth Lord Estates. I need to speak to you about the arrears.
The other tenant, named on the agreement, arrives home.
I thought you'd split up.
They'd split up, but she's still there. We've got nowhere else to live at the minute, mate.
So, two things. I need to get a grip of the numbers on this.
Yep.
And the other thing is I need to do an inspection.
Yeah, it's fine if we do an inspection. So I'm just going to pop in, tell her it's just a quick inspection, tell her to calm down.
Paul inspects the property, but the tenants haven't offered to settle the arrears.
I've now served the Section 8 notice, which is a very clear statement of our intentions. If the account's not cleared, I'll go straight to eviction level. So, what do you want from me?
The next day, the tenant calls Paul with an unusual request.
You want me to send them an email and say that your account's straight, so you can search for a house with them. Let me speak to Deborah and I'll come back to you. Bye. He wants me to write him a letter to say they ain't got any arrears so he can get an house with social housing lot. He's got £3 arrears.
What?
I know.
Well, it's fraudulent.
Yeah, I know, precisely.
Well, you're going to have to make contact with him.
He was treating me like I was stupid, like I was a fool, and he thought I was daft enough to fall for it. Oh, hang on a minute. You're taking the mick here, pal. That ain't happening.
Next.
£3,700.
In Darwin.
How's that?
Come here.
What, you keep following nothing to do?
In Wigan.
Look at you with that camera. I swear it'll be smashed to bits.
What have you done about settling the £11,000 rent you owe me?
And in North London.
18 months you've wasted of my life.
It's 2 weeks since Paul Ainsworth Lord received a surprising request from one of his tenants, who owes £3,700 in rent.
I'm going to take him his letter statement of account, which is getting worse, and see what it is exactly he wants from me.
Worried that the tenant has no intention of paying the arrears, Paul needs to confront him.
Not sure how it's going to go, this. He could give me a bit of a mouthful, I don't know.
What are you doing, man?
I've come to see you.
What are you playing at?
I've come to see you because you've asked me to give you a letter to say that your account's up to date so you can get the money from housing needs.
I have no idea what you're referring to. I think you've got the wrong end of the stick here, mate.
This is your account now, right?
Paul, mate, I'm
it's
not dealing with this.
£3,700.
Like a normal human being.
3-7. Come here.
Fine,
I'm not taking the... They've got to throw something at you to try and distract you. I've got nearly £4 worth of arrears here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to know when it's going to be sorted.
Well, I don't need to talk to you right now either.
This situation's not getting better. Thinks I can play the game on his terms. Well, it doesn't work like that.
You're not meant to be outside this property without the...
I have every right, I've got every right to be outside this property.
Get it done, mate, that's the one. Ain't it?
Yeah, well said.
I'm done dealing with you, Paul.
Yeah.
Really done dealing with you, mate.
You need to pay your rent. It was like, I've had enough of you. I'm just going to go straight to the guarantor. I'll let her deal with you.
The tenant's rent has been guaranteed by his former partner's mother, so Paul wants to talk to her.
Hiya, it's Paul from Ainsworth Lord Estates. I always think this is a bit awkward because it's an unpleasant part of my job. Because I always think of you as being the victim in all of this. Well, that's not gone very well, has it?
If the guarantor doesn't play ball, Paul will be out of pocket by £3,700. But his first priority is to evict the tenant before the arrears spiral out of control. Sam's tenant owes him £11,000 in rent arrears, and today she is due to leave the property.
And let's see what's going on, let's see what progress has been made. Looks like something's going on.
It looks like she's in the process of moving out.
Hello, my friend. Are you off then? How can she afford this and not pay any rent? How can she afford that? Look at the boxes, look. Full.
He's back. I'm now going to walk. Okay.
What have you done about settling the £11,000 rent you owe me? It's not the way to behave, is it? No remorse on her face. You put the window up, as if to say two fingers to you, I don't care. Okay. I've got my lovely house back. I think today I've had a result. Yeah, I lost £1 million and found £1. It's a beautiful room in the summer. You open that, you've got a lovely view out there. And I was quite happy to see that, you know, the room was in reasonable, clean condition and there wasn't much to do, thank God, you know, so that was a result as well. Peace at last. I ain't got much money, but I'm happy today. It's a bittersweet feeling, you know. Never again do I want to go through this again. Never, ever do I want to go through this again.
Now he has his property back, Sam has peace of mind that in time he could convert it back to a family home for his elderly mother.
My mum always said to me, son, everything will be okay. Don't worry, be strong. Everything she said to this day is right. I love her to bits. Mum, I know. We've finally done it. Peace at last. Yeah?
Yes, I am very happy, my son with him. God bless you.
I love you, Mum.
I love you, my son.
I felt so elated. This will be history, never to be repeated again.
Gemma, could you come over and have a look at this?
Letting agents Karen and Gemma have spent the past week trying to find a tenant who now owes £1,000 in back rent.
You won't believe it.
They've discovered she's living in a new property. And that's not all.
I managed to track down the owner of that house. I queried why they hadn't contacted us for a reference, and she's actually forged a reference from us, made up a letterhead. The grammar is horrific. A glowing reference about what a wonderful tenant that she is. I mean, that's fraud.
She's been a tenant since June 2018. She's always paid her rent on time. That's a lie. If there's ever been a problem, she's always been in contact with ourselves. That's a lie. We've done house inspections to make sure the property is well maintained, which have always passed. Well, that's a lie because there's no front door.
So when I told her what had happened and sent her the photographs of the condition of the property as it is now, she immediately stopped that going ahead.
The agents believe their tenant may be living in both properties at the same time. So they return to the first property, the one they manage, to serve an eviction notice.
I'm hoping that this time she's going to be in and actually answer the door, because she seems to run scared whenever we turn up now, doesn't she? So we now have a board on the window as well as the door. At least there's a letterbox. Hiya.
Bye.
I'm fully aware that you're there because your boyfriend just opened the door and then closed it again. So I'm forewarning you that I am now currently serving you with your Section 8 notice, giving you 2 weeks to vacate this property as a result of the 2 months rent arrears that you're now in. The Section 8 notice is being posted through the letterbox, which is attached to your wall. I've also reported you to the police for the fraudulent reference that you have put in my company name. I recommend that you contact me urgently.
She's here. Unless you wanted to proceed with the police, I said yes, you talk to me. She's run off.
She's run off?
Yeah.
Oh, so she's out?
Yeah, she's there with the blue coat on. They jumped over the wall, that's how I heard them.
The fact that 2 people are prepared to throw themselves over a brick wall rather than face us is worrying. And as we were driving round, I clocked them sat in a cafe.
They're there. What has it got to do with you? What's it got to do with...
What's it got to do with me? Because it had.
When they make threats to firebomb the house, there's a little bit of your brain that thinks he might be capable of that.
I think that it was probably the most dangerous situation that we'd been in ever in 15 years. This guy, he had no control whatsoever.
Shortly after the confrontation, the tenant calls Karen.
I want you to go because you don't pay your rent. You have dogs in the property that make it smell. From the landlord and our perspective, it had definitely gone too far. You've been served notice today. You've got 2 weeks.
Next.
Really stinks.
In Darwin.
This is just bad news. It's a blinking hazard.
I'm worried about seeing that guy.
And in Wigan.
He was just horrible last time, wasn't he?
He's very unpredictable.
Two weeks have passed since Karen and Gemma had an angry confrontation with their tenant's boyfriend after they served her with an eviction notice. She is due to have left the property by now.
I'm pretty worried about seeing that guy. He was just horrible last time, wasn't he?
I think he's very unpredictable.
Well, yeah, you're right.
That's the worrying thing when someone's unpredictable.
Yeah. There's always a feeling of trepidation when you go into a property when you've had a problem tenant because you just don't know what to expect. Are you going to get there and the place is absolutely trashed? Yeah. We do have a window and we have no furniture, so she has definitely left.
As the tenant has changed the locks, they need to bring along a locksmith to gain access.
We need to get inside the property, make sure there's no other damage and get the property secured so that there's no further vandalism done to this property. Yes! Brilliant! We are in!
We're in.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
And that wasn't as long as I thought. I can still feel my toes.
Oh. It does still smell doggy.
Yeah. And a bit weedy.
There's a bit, yeah.
Oh, that's why it smells weedy.
Oh. Evidence of smoking a joint. Oh, the carpets are stained, aren't they? They're going to have to go, unfortunately. They're not going to clean up.
As an agent, you're frustrated that you've put a tenant in there that has turned out to have let you down and that the landlord's at a loss. It's just disappointing.
This is definitely a tenant that I am glad to see the back of.
The landlord is down £1,000 in missing rent and another £1,500 to fix the property up. But she's finally free of her troublesome tenant.
She has gone. The
carpets are not great, they're a bit mucky.
I'm pleased really because it seems like a long time, it's only 2 months. They usually can drag on for a massive amount of time. So we've saved the landlord an awful lot of hassle. Locked. All done.
Done.
Hurrah!
Right, there we go. You there?
Paul Ainsworth Lord is evicting a tenant, owing £3,700 in rent arrears. The tenant's guarantor, who is ultimately responsible for the rent, gave him short shrift when he approached her earlier.
So you want him out of the house, as we do. So when he straightens his account and everything, we need to make sure he's going. This is where we need to work together. If he says I'm not leaving, the only way we could evict him is through a full court process, which is expensive and time-consuming. And in my experience, it's always better when we ask the guarantor to help us. She's assured me that the bill will be paid very soon, and she wants him out of the house as much as we do. Dealt with a lot of guarantors over the years, and I get a good feeling with this one. She'll come good. She clearly doesn't want this to tip up in court.
5 weeks later, and the tenant and his girlfriend have moved out.
So I'm just going down now to see what state the house is in. They've been in for 4 or 5 years, so I'm expecting there to be reasonable wear and tear. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. Really stinks. Oh, wow, stinks to dogs. Now this paintwork is what causes us a problem. What have all these blinking holes? Loads of holes. Holes everywhere. Holes in the ceilings. Umpteen in the walls.
Paul is concerned that painting and decorating costs alone could be in the region of £1,000.
You know, this is just bad news. 2 flat screen tellies they must have had, but can't pay me rent. Don't know what that lean-to thing is. He's made a makeshift carport, for want of a description, really. That's got to all come off before the next tenants move in. Yeah, it's a blinking hazard, if nothing else.
All told, Paul is down £5,200 in rent arrears and renovation costs. Eventually, the tenant's guarantor stumped up the arrears, but Paul is still out of pocket for the repair costs.
He even kept a key, and he still kept going back to that house. And I can only think the reason he kept a key was just because he wanted to have the last word.